Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, the head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Ready. Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space or out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin. Subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up, y'all keep the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space or out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, back. Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all keep the flow. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Rams. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, white 25. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up,
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On play action, Winston. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, LA! Marlon Mack, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of it. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Tech McKinley made his way into the backfield.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
3rd and long for Winston. Going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
The first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Boy, that went straight out of bounds, and that will set the return team up in the red zone already. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Fields. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Calvin Ridley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. From the 27, Winston, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Samson Abuka able to record his 5th sack of the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
"21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
On first down, Fields. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On first down, Mack. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Taylor Gabriel, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. That's the way.
Play fake. Winston. Steps away to his left. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Wait.
A first down throw for Winston. It's caught. Smith. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Jameis to throw it. Complete. Smith has it. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. 21-0 our score after one. No move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Winston to throw for it on 4th. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Back to throw. Fields eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
From the gun, Fields.
And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going.
We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance, because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead, it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you know what? And he is going to go down for the 5th time tonight, and this one is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He's looking for Ridley again, and it's 3rd and short.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Jameis now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
To throw is Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Samson Abuka in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. It's not too often you see a holder putting that football down right on the midfield stripe. 60 yards, Charles, but a little bit too much to bite off there.
Yeah, it's good to show confidence in your kicker. That might have been just a little bit too much. I'll guarantee you, as you just noted, putting it down on the midfield stripe, the holder's thinking to himself, that's a long way. Probably not as confident as well.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
On 3rd down, Fields. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. From the gun, Fields. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll run with Mack. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit,
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Looking to throw. Fields gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th.
You ain't doing nothing today. Check 55. That's it. Check 55 for Mike. Switch up. Switch up.
On 4th down, Fields. And my goodness, this is incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Dante Fowler, his 2nd sack of the night. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. To throw, Winston. And the pressure gets to him again. Dante Fowler able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Kill, kill, kill. Hey, check 24. Check 24.
Throwing, Winston. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Back to throw. Fields. And that's complete to Cooks. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for L.A.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Looking to throw. Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Back to throw. Fields. He gets it to Cooks. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
It's a gain of 15 yards and leads to 3rd down.
9:55. Hey, eat. I got you, boy.
To throw on 3rd down. Fields. It's caught left side by Cooks. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Taylor Gabriel with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens.
And he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
53 is mine. I got it.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down now, it's Mack, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 13-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
55. Get around. West. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Take 4.
Here's 2nd and 8. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Kill.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Fields. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5. Hey. Watch that. Check 52.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is indeed good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Back now in Los Angeles. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. He got 29 yards that time.
Ready, blue ready. Mike 5-4. Let's convert.
They'll run for it with Cook. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be...
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
On first, here's Washington. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
2nd and 9 now. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Hey, check right. Watch it, you five. Watch the run. It's soft, baby. That's baby soft.
Looking to throw. Fields. And he's got his man on the out route. That'll put him right at 99 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Let's go now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
We take and win.
They run from the shotgun with Washington. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Vikings' 32-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A give, running right is Mack. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Defensively, they rallied the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Come on, now, let's go.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tack McKinley able to record his 5th sack of the season. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now Winston. Going down the middle, and it's complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. From the gun, Winston. And that will be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here's Winston. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. A little bit of first down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
First and 10 at the 26.
And they take a knee.
The quarterback keeps it. A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 28-yard line.
Here we go. 50 set. 55 to Mike. Watch the slants.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
The quarterback on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
Double dog. That's the way.
So the L.A. Rams with a victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Los Angeles, they move back over 5.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I on the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the haters, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist. Watch out, cuz I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
I was legit ever since I blew. They all on my. Hey, back then didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked, long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my 50. Ex slick then hit with the. Back then used to out the zip. Blow out his back and then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these 4 things pull out the VIP. Suck to a nut, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew. So I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me. Baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull off. Hat on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the errands need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They ain't thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They check it to tag.